I'm Sean Thayer, third generation.
My name's April Hames. I still am the only female.
I'm Malcolm, been at the RAC for nearly half the amount of time that we've had roadside assistance.
I'm Richard Fault, 92.
Because you don't look it.
A lockout is great because suddenly you've got the whole family and they're all interested. Straight away I'm like, Nicolas Cage told me it's okay, move aside.
People have asked you if you've got a universal key. I go, I
skeleton
do.
key,
You
yeah.
go into the back of the pull out a hammer. And I'm just joking.
Most people don't expect to get a female when they break down. Caught him in the shower, he doesn't necessarily remember his towel. Sorry mate, I've just got out of the shower. Oh, won't be a moment. No worries mate.
Do electric vehicles break down differently from petrol cars?
They don't run out of petrol.
Roadside Patrol is not a mechanical job.
How about a shoulder to cry on?
A lady lost her dog. She went to start a car and couldn't start it. We ended up both in tears. Happy 100 RAC Roadside Assistance.
This is fun, isn't it? Go on,
Well,
do the formal bit, Rich.
I'll
Go
do it
on.
for me. We're here today. We're going to talk about 100 and celebrate 100 years of roadside looking after our members in WA. It's absolutely fantastic. 100 years is a long time. We've got a lot of stories. We've got a lot of things to say. Over to you, Sean.
G'day, I'm Sean Thayer. I'm from Albany. I run my own business, Thayer Automotive. Third generation. Grandfather Bill started up in 1971. Yeah, from a young fella, just growing up before school, after school, hanging around the workshop. So naturally got roped into it and become a mechanic. In 03, but I started doing some subcontracting through the family business, and I think it was about 2009-ish, somewhere around there. So been doing it for a while, and sort of in 2023, parents sold up their premises and retired. So I took over the contract, and been doing it full time since then. So it's in hours, out hours, and got another guy, Tim, working for me. He's working right now actually while I'm up here, and get my father roped in. So he's retired, but still comes and works for me for free now. So it's great. So yeah.
I was going to say, with you said they sold premises. Do you still have the same workshop?
No. Oh, it's the
So
same.
you had to buy.
It's the same name. I rent probably only about a kilometre away, but it's a lot smaller workshop. It was quite a large business. There was probably a quarter of an acre, and I think the shed we could fit at one time. We put, I think it was 51 or 52 cars in.
Oh, wow.
It had 2 4-posters. 4 2-posters. At one stage, I think we had 8 mechanics in there, so it's kind of hustle and bustle. But by the end of it, we sort of slowly dwindled down, less and less people. So it was just, everyone was sort of in the retirement mode. So it's sort of thing for me to take it over. It would have been effectively myself and one other mechanic. So I just thought I'll go off on my own and sort of rent a shed and take over the grandfather's business name. So the Thayer's Garage kept that, and love it.
Where was your boundaries? Because I used to do contracting, and we had quite a big area. So, but I would think Albany.
Albany's fairly large. We kind of go from Albany itself, travel out past Wellstead, so that's 100 kilometres east. I've been up as far as Kojonup, so 150 k's up, but there is Mount Barker contractor, but they're sort of category B, so they're only guaranteed business hours, while I'm category A, 24/7. So basically, if someone needs help and the other people don't answer their phone, or if they are too busy or they don't want to work on that set day, then that's me kind of thing. So Denmark itself, they haven't renewed a contract out there, so it's shared between Albany and Mount Barker. So you could be 100 kilometres east, then you've got to go 120 kilometres west. So it's sort of a large area, but with 2 guys and the vans and whatnot, we can get it covered.
Oh, over to me.
Yeah, over to you.
My name's April Hames. I've been with RAC a couple of times. So I started initially in 2000 after doing a 2-year contract. Again, I was a contractor initially from the area classified as Nowick up. So we used to go basically from Joondalup Drive to Gilderton.
Yeah, okay.
I did that for 2 years, 98 to 2000, and then joined RAC.
You had the best team manager.
Where I got to meet Malcolm, which got me, I shouldn't say got me to RAC, but I wasn't happy with the contracting work. The hours were 17-hour shifts with standby time. So, and in an area that it took me nearly an hour to get home. So when you finish at midnight and start at 7, wasn't always the
Bit of
best.
a rough day, yeah.
So I did that for 2 years. Then little birdie told me that RAC was still looking for people. So I put my hat in the ring for that, and Malcolm became my team manager.
Okay.
So
That's true.
how many years? 2 was you? 3. I'm trying to think how
about
many
3
years.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that was 2000 till 2006. I left in 2006 to go over east and came back in 2010, where I ended up doing auto services for about 5 months and started to appreciate the roadside role more. So I finally got into patrolling and have been there ever since. So nearly 24 years as a patrol.
It's good.
That's
Yeah.
a few.
You've missed out.
Yeah.
You've missed out the bit about being the first female patrol.
I still am the only female.
You are.
We've-
Yes, we had another one for a
we've-
little while, but
Yes, but not long enough. I need some more friends.
you do.
Not that you guys aren't my
Oh,
friends,
thank
but
you, thank you.
yeah. Yes, I definitely prefer the standard hours of roadside now, even though they've been the years of shift work and that. One of those jobs, I guess the reason why a few of us have been here for so long, it's the feel-good side of it. It's nice to help people every day.
I think so.
Not everyone appreciates it, and not everyone's happy to see you because they're stressed, but
Well, no one really rings you because they're having a good day.
No.
really.
but it's our job to change
Yeah.
it. So yeah, but that's probably the main reason I've stayed with it so long, because it's such a feel good profession.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's right. I the other day had someone down at Bunnings that locked the kid in the car and then rock up there and mass panic, and you got to rock up and just be calm, hop out of the ute, walk up to him. Oh, keys in there. Where are the keys? They're in the back. Kid's got them. No worries. I'll get it open. Look in. Oh, look, 2 kids in the car. One's happy as looking around. Baby's crying. Mum's bright red in the face, crying, upset. They haven't been there very long at all. This thing is about 4 or 5 minutes. Quick unlock of the car. Now, Mum, listen to me. Go inside Bunnings. Get in the aircon. Go into the cafe. Sit down. Don't hold baby against the chest. Gets out, standing in the sun.
Holds baby, gets the
No,
chest.
you're hot.
Yeah.
Just try and you just got to sit there and it's sort of a good feeling. Then it's the sort of, I've done my job of unlocking the car. Now trying to get Mum to calm down, trying to get everyone
That's
else
sometimes the
separate.
hardest thing, isn't it?
I'm like, Dad's calm. Dad, take child inside now. Mum, come with me. We need to get your keys. Here, distract. Lock your car. Now go inside. Go inside, get a bottle of water. Yeah. But it's
Bunnings, I'm surprised you didn't have 30, 40 people around.
there was.
Yeah.
There was. But it was good. They got out the umbrellas from inside, kind of made shield to stop sun coming in the glass. So.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, it's good when people come together like that. Then it's trying to wrap it all up when you're there, and all of a sudden there's cars still driving around the car park, and people are worked up, walk around backwards, going to walk in front of cars, and all of a sudden you could become traffic control, trying to get them away.
Roadside
So-
patrol is not a mechanical job.
No,
You've got to be counsellor sometimes. You've got to be traffic control.
Yeah.
Richie, yeah, talk to us.
So I'm Richard Falk, 92.
Because you don't look it.
I do, that's right. I had a big paper round, yeah. It's, they said it's our IQ, you know, they use... Don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine. 92, so I've been here 15 years. I did a year and a half, I think I did in the workshop when I got here. Come over from London, but I used to work doing the same thing in London. So 5 years with the AA there, and then 10 years with the RAC. The AA was very militant. They were just like what you were saying. It's just very sergeants, and it's all. But the RAC back in the UK was as lovely as this. They were more. Like a team, and we do. It was more get together, and so they're much better. But so 10 years of that. So come out here. So that's been 15 years now. It's. I must admit, I don't think I could do anything else now. To be honest with you, I think. I just like doing this, even though the everything's changing, whether it be cars or the people, attitudes. It's still they still sort of need us, don't they? It's like what you said. We're more than just the mechanic. But how about a shoulder to cry on? How many times you've got there and their whole world is collapsing around them, and you turn up and you go, "I can help you," and they're like, "Just a buff." Yeah, buff. That's it.
That's nice, though.
No,
nice to get a hug.
True. Yeah, that is lovely. So that is one of the good parts of this sort of job. It's that sort of work. We're just there to welcome, and it's lovely. Their members, we do get. Not saying everyone's perfect, but most of them are really good.
Get some really great heartwarming moments, though, don't you? Working Christmas Day, and the families lock the presents in the boot of the car, and you get there and you unlock the boot, and there are all the gifts, and
you play
and then you try and get away, but they just want to keep giving you mince pies or cups of tea. Or
you got to give me that address.
Yeah.
South Perth.
Okay.
Or if it's Australia Day, everyone offers you a beer and you're like, I can't, I'm working. For when you knock off, and I'm like, I'm on all night.
But no, it is good to help everyone. But it's even just have a laugh with them. You know, sometimes their car is like a limb, and they've lost their limb. I can't do it. Can't get the kids. I can't get the shopping. And if you get there and also have a laugh with them, I mean, especially when you're a lockout is great, because suddenly you've got the whole family and they're all interested in how he's going to break into. I mean, straight away I'm like, Nicolas Cage told me it's okay, move aside, like gone in 60 seconds. But I remember there was the other day it was loads of them there that they're having a party. I said, we'll get the barbecue going. Everyone's here watching me. But every time I moved, there's like 10 of them, and they all move with me. And I could see them in the glass, and I'm like.
It's like seagulls.
You've got to play with it. I can't help myself now. I'm like, don't look. And the whole 10 people kept moving behind me, and they'll stare. In the end, they sort of cracked at what I was doing.
Half the fun of lockouts was making it look harder than it was.
True.
Or else doing something really bizarre and they haven't realised you've already opened it, just like going and then like on the lock with your hand, and it's like.
No, I've never done that before.
No.
Or how many people have asked you if you got a universal key? I thought you had a universal key.
you
And
had
I
a
go, I do.
skeleton key,
You go into the back of the pull out a hammer, and you show it to them, and they're like, and I'm just joking. The one way to guarantee to get
I have to say the key from the first escort I had unlocked many Cortinas and escorts through its life.
You remember, you gave me a ring of, what it was. I've still got all those keys. There must have been hundreds of keys on there. I still have that.
Well, good.
I haven't gotten to use it.
What, just like jigglers?
Like the older.
The older the car
Holdings
gets,
and all that.
the looser the tumblers get, and you can find something.
So
to
like
go
you
in
can
there.
have a look. So on the key, I get that big it is, no joke. I pull 20 keys off to get the key and say, okay, that says GM, and we'll see if that works. And it's happened a few times. Yeah.
I used a toolbox key out of a toolbox for a VL Commodore. Open the boot. Mate had it.
Because VL Commodore, they're not that hard to get in, not that easy to get into the boot.
Yeah. No, they're pretty tricky. So, especially now, even trying to get into the older cars, now the trims are just brittle. The rubbers have all gone off and the plastics are bad. So, in the old car, you're like, ooh, yeah. And usually, if they're old, they're in really nice condition. They've been done up. Because all the old ones.
And you hear,
feel
the breathing right behind you. It's like, don't you scratch my car.
Yeah.
Malcolm.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm Malcolm. I've been at the RAC for nearly half the amount of time that we've had roadside assistance. This is my 48th year.
Wow.
So
There you go.
I started in 78 as a patrol, did 20 years as a patrol, and for 18 of those years I was a senior patrol, which involved teaching other patrols how to do the job and working in the office and learning about all the back-end systems in the control room, back from the days of paper cards going down conveyor belts through every iteration of computers and technology that we've ever had. And I guess that's why I've been really lucky, because I've kind of developed a career out of the RAC. So I've been a patrol team manager, the guy that answered the member feedback, good and bad, for motoring, and patrol team manager, and now the person who looks after the technology in the vehicles and the computer-aided dispatch system, software testing. So yeah, I've had a great career, and I've been here, like I said, been here for half the time we've had road service almost, and it's still the best decision I ever made was one day when I was bringing a car into the old RAC office to have the speedometer check, because the RAC had the only dynamometer that was kind of free to use, and the dealership I was working the dealership I was working for had a complaint about the speedo in the car. So I drove it into to have the dynamometer run the speedo to see it was accurate. And while I was there, I went upstairs and filled in an application form to become a patrol. And that's how I ended up at the RAC.
Wow.
Look, the job these days, obviously I've seen all the technology evolve and the vehicles, true. When I started, we didn't have air conditioning. We had a tailored wool suit, polyester shirt, nylon socks. Used to get a bit whiffy at the end of the day.
Itchy as well, horrible. Yeah.
Got really hot in the van, and like 3 iterations of van later, they brought in the first of the vehicles with a separate cab like the Hilux.
Do you remember your first van, though?
Yeah, it was an Escort, 6AB297.
Oh, I knew it was going to rattle off of it, so yeah, that's why I asked.
Oh, I had a laser wagon.
Yeah.
So obviously, being contractor, we would have got your older RAC older.
One of the contractors did get my first old Escort when it traded up to the Barina.
I thought that was the one that would be in...
no, that's 4-1.
White-
The Whiteman Park, that
yeah.
was Alan Baines.
So they were using cars, not really, they weren't vans, were they?
No, I had a van, an actual laser.
That was a laser.
Hatchback.
More of an estate, wasn't it? Or like a station wagon.
A station wagon, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But my van after the Escort was a Barina, little 5-door thing.
You're getting smaller, okay.
It was very small, but managed to play like Tetris with the back of the van and get a lot of stuff in there, you know. So you open the back door to pull the trolley jack out sideways and things like that.
I did like the Hiluxes when we finally got Hiluxes, and they're automatic. Well,
I never had an automatic.
Oh, the
I had 3
99
manuals.
Hiluxes? Late 90s?
No, it would have been late 80s.
Oh.
Oh, no, it would have been early 90s.
Well, let's see, 78, 85, 92. 92 was the first Hilux, I think, roughly.
My first car was the 99 Hilux, used from my parents, used from RAC.
Yeah.
Hand me down.
Was it a 4-wheel drive?
No, just 2-wheel drive, 4-cylinder auto, with the white canopy on the back and the old round flashing lights that you'd fold in.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember those.
Well, we had a single one on a pole that we used to stick in the back of the Escort. That's it. And of course, 2-way radios with a thing, you know, over the wireless transmitters. So if you carry a large bag of 20-cent pieces when you worked in the hills because you couldn't get through.
Oh, this is better
Phone
than
box.
Pigeon. Yeah, not too bad.
So yeah, I used to get. I lived in the hills for a while, so I used to head out. I got one job at Gidgegannup, and picked up the member there, and they said they were 5 or 6k up the road. What they actually meant was that they were at the sign that said 2J 5 kilometres. When by the time I picked him up at Gidgee and drove him out to where the car was, no signal out there. Yeah.
It's always just down the road. How far have you got? Oh, it's just down the road.
That's the one.
That's ideal. Let me put the address now into the maps, and I'll just see where we're going.
So you've lost the
10
art of
codes.
having a UBD in your head.
Do you know what? I reckon that was the best thing that ever happened, going from with the tablets that we use now, the fact that we able to use the maps.
Automatically.
And of course we never did it, but if you had to work out where you were going and it was quite complex, you had it open on the seat next to you on the page. You know, I was always around about 240 something, and trying to find out, okay, this street to get to it, and then you have to pull over and then see the next part of where you're going. I reckon the best thing was getting that and just straight to the...
Have to say, the only time I ever used a map book was in Ellenbrook, because the rest of the metro area was in my head.
Wow.
I could never find my way around Ellenbrook.
I was going to say that the Albany area, like with all the little streets and suburbs, you just don't use maps anymore. Someone will say the name of a street and you'll know, all right, start heading off and you go, hang on a minute, it's going to take me about 20 minutes to get there, but in 5 minutes' time, school pickup.
Yep.
So if I head that way and go around and you take an extra 10 kilometre detour around, you'll save yourself sitting in traffic.
Are we going to have a look at these boxes?
Why not?
They're sitting here with cars on top.
It's either that or the cake.
That does look nice.
I'll grab it. Let's have a look.
You go first, Sean.
All right. Yeah, mystery box round 1. Everyone wants to know one word to describe what it's like being a patrol.
I think for me, it'd be proud. I was very proud to be a patrol.
Reward, yeah. That's a good one, rewarding.
I'd say fulfilling. It's a pretty sort of good job. So, yeah.
I think you're right.
2 words, but together, heartwarming. At times it is.
Heartwarming, rewarding, and fulfilling. They're great words.
Privilege at times, like to help the people when they need it most. Most grateful member moment.
I think I already talked about mine. It was getting those presents out of the boot of that car, but at Christmas time. So, but it's just so many, isn't there?
Yeah, I say, no, I remember this she was disabled, but she was stuck in the car, and she had her handbag like this big rolled up stockings, and then they wanted to get the car, and I got it going, and she went, I can go shopping now. She went up in the back of the car, so she was happy, and it was absolutely fine.
Oh, that's good.
Everyone shows their happiness in a unique way, don't
Just the way
they?
she did it, yeah. She was like, yeah, the world's going to crumble.
Mine was probably a lady that had 3 children that she accidentally locked the keys in her car. Well, she handed the keys to one of the kids in the back when she was clipping them in. So clipped into car seat, pressed lock on the button, dropped the key on the floor, and they were trying to coax the older child to unclip the seatbelt to try and climb down and press the button, just press the button, but just didn't have the strength to do it. And just mum, after unlocking the vehicle, she was trying to choke me, trying to hug me that hard kind of thing, and it was really good.
Yeah. I don't want to get upset by saying this one, but it only happened a few days ago. A lady lost her dog. She went to start a car and couldn't start it. So she had this dead dog in the car. Yeah.
I'm a dog.
We ended up both
so,
in tears.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I've got dogs, I've got kids, and yeah, I understand exactly how she would feel. Then couldn't believe how you would feel. It'd be
We do get that, especially the older ones. It's like they've lost their partner, and you just feel from them. Yeah, they look for us for they don't know how to work. They don't know how to do this on the car, and they do. They get you sometimes. It's just like, oh, bless you.
And saying about that as well, there's another one. I've had a lady that's run out of fuel before, and it was only because it was a few days in between, and I was just sort of saying, oh, I remember you. I've seen you last time, and I was just talking to her, and it worked out that she didn't know her husband has passed away. She doesn't know how to fill a car with fuel at the servo. She was relying on us to keep her going, and she didn't want to drive much because she didn't want to call us out too much. And it was like as simple as just following her down to the servo and just showing her how to fill it up, just so she had confidence to fill up the tank.
How nice is that afterwards, though, when you're doing them sort of jobs? And you get in the van and go, oh, yeah, that was
that's
really
what
good.
makes it, I reckon.
I love them ones. They're really nice.
Oh,
the
gosh.
unique jobs that kind of get you sometimes, don't they?
They do get you, don't they?
I hate crying in front of people, and I've kind of done that now. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you.
No, but well done, though.
Yeah, that's a lot there. That is lovely. What's the most common mistake WA drivers make that leads you to call out? Oh, where do you want to start? Yeah, how long we got? So what have you made? They make us call out.
Some of the things that used to do a lot in the old days are harder to do now, like leave your lights on and things, aren't they? Because a lot of cars turn them off now. But
Yeah. Well, they still run out of fuel. That was it. Yeah, they loved that, didn't they? Yeah, that cheap day, that
See,
Tuesday.
I don't see that as often anymore.
No.
Their fuel one, no.
I think it grinds me is when look on the jobs, it's been towed home and everything. So the truck's been out, we've recovered them, we've got them home, and you get there and you go, it's out of fuel. Oh, is that all it is? And I think, well, yeah, you got to say something like, well, you endangered everyone on the freeway with the truck and everything. If you could keep your eye on your fuel next time, well, I thought I'd be all right. And then one sort of do just everyone had to be on that freeway just because of out of fuel. I think that gets me. But
it reminds what you were saying about the airport one. I was on a midnight to dawn shift, and halfway up Greenmount Hill, someone was out of fuel. I said, "Oh, where are you going?" He said, "Oh, Melbourne." I said, "But..." He said, "Oh, where's the nearest petrol station?" Now, this is back in the days when we had the roster system. There's only 3 petrol stations open in the whole of the Perth metro area. You had one in Perth City, one in Freo, and the one at the airport, the old Shell service station on Brearley Avenue. So he had to drive all the way back to the airport to fill his car up, because the 5-10 litres that I put in his car wasn't going to get him too far, and there was nothing open, of course, that time. So
there's just loads of, yeah.
We've got that down here.
Yep.
We've got people coming across from Esperance to Albany. During night, there's only limited spots. So coming from Perth to Albany, if you're travelling at 2 o'clock in the morning, you've got Williams, you've got Albany, and you've got a couple of 24-hour fuel stops, maybe Barker, and divert off the highway. But if you look at the map coming from Esperance to Albany, if you take the scenic route through the Stirling Ranges, there's Amalup fuel station, and people just open up and go, "Oh, fuel station, this day and age, everyone's going to be open 24/7. Yep, fine." And I get call-outs all the time out Chester Pass Road to take 20 litres out because people don't have enough fuel. They haven't run out, they haven't got enough to keep going. So they're parked at the petrol station waiting, which is only open a couple of days a week kind of thing. And that's a pretty common one for us down there.
Even the engine lights now, you get that, and you get there, and they go, it says something about the fuel cap, and well, let me have a find out what it really is. It's good. I see you've been on Google, haven't you? Because Google comes up with that quite quickly, doesn't it? It says about the fuel cap. It's the 411 code, the 444 code, what it is. But yes, we put them straight. We test it. All right. Malcolm.
Oh, thank you very much, Richard. Okay. Best WA road to drive. I wore wheel ruts in Stirling Highway as a patrol, but I wouldn't say that's the best road to drive because I went up and down there about 10,000 times.
This road.
I love coming through the Tonkin Highway interchange, well, not at peak hour, but along near the airport. It's so smooth and wide, and the coloured bridges. I have to say, I really enjoy that part of the Tonkin Highway since they widened it.
I used to like West Coast drives at night.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Along the beach at night. That was
Before all those speed bumps.
Yeah. I haven't. Now that I live on the eastern side, I don't get to go that way that often.
I probably enjoy being in the Albany area. You're kind of servicing the town, and you're cutting across to Denmark, but then going east, you get some jobs out to farms, and you go out on a gravel road, and you've never ever been there before, you've never heard of the road, and you'll cut down, you'll do 20-30 kilometres down gravel roads, winding between farms. The roads are terrible, but the scenery, when you've got like canola fields and you've got the backdrop of the Stirling Ranges, the Paronga Ups Mountains, and you're driving around going, "Oh, this is actually a really nice area. I've never known about this road." You would never have gone down there if it wasn't going to a job, changing a tyre on an old Ute Land Cruiser with split rims or something like that, covered in gravel dust. So by the time you leave, you're head to toe mud, gravel. But I mean, that sort of the back roads for me is the ones that like all the tourists are going straight down the highway and you deviate off. I reckon that's where the nice roads are down there. It's just nice scenery. So
I don't get out in the country much, hence the Tonkin Highway near the airport thing, and I love the airport.
Yeah.
There are a couple left in here.
I'll go again. What's something people should always keep in their car but usually don't?
How far are they driving?
I was going to say probably a good condition spare tyre, because I got that many.
If they've even got one.
Yeah.
Or know how their emergency thingy kit works. Is it the inflation kit or whatever?
Owner's manual.
Yeah.
Or actually know how to read it. Or actually bother to read it.
When you got a car and you're trying to find a fuse for something and you open up the fuse box lid and it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then even sometimes you open up the owner's manual, it says for fuses refer to basically workshop manual, and you're there trying to get phone reception to check Google for fuse box diagrams and whatnot.
My motto, when in doubt, get the manual out. And so many people, when you go out to them, they'll say, oh, well, I didn't know how to, I didn't know what this meant. And I just say, okay, do you have a manual in the car? Oh.
It's
in this pristine book that I've never opened.
But because of people use their phones for everything now, they don't think talking in the manual. Mind you, half of them are probably quicker than me having a look at it on the phone than in the manual. But
Well, it used to be a good thing, didn't it, the manual? It used to tell you how to do the tappets and points, condenser. It used to tell you how to sort of do your engine a bit. There was some... Now it's nothing, is it? Just don't drink the battery acid or something.
Light comes on.
Yeah.
See authorised dealer.
Speak to the dealer. That's where we come in.
What's a breakdown that looks dramatic but is actually an easy fix? Sometimes a bolt one, because you can say, we'll get you a tow truck, but that's not really easy for the person so much.
I'd probably say a rock stuck between the rotor and the back.
Yes, the squeal that happens.
The fingernails on a
that's a good
chalkboard,
one,
metallic.
That's true.
But they say, but easy fix. You don't always, by the time you get to it, it's cooled down. It's not until you road test it that the bit of metal gets hot and expands and then squeals.
Yeah.
Before you know.
Mine's blue metal, chunk of blue metal, and sometimes you get them to roll it forward, and then you just put your hand in there and, obviously car turned off, in park, push, if they've got big mag wheels on it, you can just
push it that way and it drops
back
out.
a bit, drops into your hand, and go, there you go, there's a little rock in it. No, that can't be it.
Yeah.
Okay, try again.
Sounds like something's going to blow up,
No, that's a good one, that one. Yeah. Do you have another one? What do drivers panic about that usually isn't as bad as they think? Panic about ain't as bad as they think. Just
engine light, but...
you know what, engine light, yeah, okay, yeah.
But sometimes, but if it's driving okay. If it's driving okay and just the light comes on.
Well, it's traffic lights, isn't it? I mean, if it's red, it's bad. If it's orange, it means caution. You'll try and pull over and look at it, and green means it's doing something. So, it's like the first thing you usually ask them when we get there, does it still run okay? Then you're sort of halfway there, aren't you? It's going to be emissions, but engine light isn't as bad as they think. Or sometimes, even just a flat battery, they go click, click, and then they're like, it's a starter motor, isn't it? It's got to be the starter.
Yeah.
No, hold on, well, let me look.
Yeah.
Usually before you get out of the car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it the starter motor? I don't know yet. What you got out? Is it the alternator? I don't know. Hold on.
Yeah, we just get bombarded with 12 questions.
So
Then you go and answer the
You just
first.
got out of the van.
Then you go, hi, my name's April, how are you going? Let's start with that.
Let's go there.
Lucky last.
It's a couple.
It says it's the last one. The worst weather to work in.
Oh, I hate the rain. I'd rather the heat than the rain. Only
Just the heat, I think. Oh, yeah.
the heat.
Out in the hot, it's when it's on your back. Yeah, but the rain, okay, I don't like the heat.
I don't like getting wet because you can guarantee the job you get when you're in the middle of the road, they're parked near a drain, it's got water coming down.
I remember changing a wheel on a taxi outside Swan Taxis up on Wellington Street, up the top when they're at 1008 Wellington Street. And I'm lying there changing the wheel. I could feel a bit of an itching in the middle of my back. Do you remember the very old plastic rain gear we had?
Yes.
Yeah, but the water was running in the back of my collar and out of my leg.
Flowing.
Because I was lying in the gutter and the water had diverted and it was running down the back of my neck and out my leg. that wasn't fun. So that particular wet weather thing wasn't pleasant, but I stay with you, Rich. I'm not a fan of the heat anymore.
Well, I remember a time when you've just had a freshly tar-laid road or whatever, and you get your first hot day, and you're laying down under it to get either the spare tyre or something out, and you get up and you got tars attached to your jacket.
There was, not long after we moved into Maddington, which was 1997, I think, they'd recently relaid the Tonkin Highway, and I think they'd used a bad batch of bitumen because it melted and the cars were sliding on the bitumen. It went so sticky. And if you were driving behind another car, your windscreen was getting sprayed with bitumen.
Mine would probably be rain. When we have like a bad storm with flooding and people driving into water when there shouldn't be, engines eating water, stopping, and
In
water, and then they're getting towed backwards out, and then you get a phone call to come out and have a look at it, and you like show up to the job. What did you try and do? I just drove through that puddle over there. Okay. Who's it insured with? Because that's pretty much where it's heading. You pull the air filter out, water in the air box, engine's locked up, and you're like...
Drowned.
Tow truck.
Say about water, I remember one time members pulled over. They've gone down a street which wasn't on the map. Well, it was on the map, but it was a non-sealed, and it went down at the edges. So like the country roads, that up. And they've gone to do a U-turn. So they've gone off and gone down. Their car, they had everything in the back, so I couldn't go through the back, do anything. It was the back door, if you open it was underwater. So I didn't take my boots off because I figure health and safety, can't take my shoes off.
Don't want to step on something.
Had to roll my pants up and like get under because back then we would take the cars out of the bog, grab the tow rope, get it on and actually try and reverse the car out. But because it was all a flooded road as well, then I had to worry about my car getting bogged. Yeah. So it's like...
I think my best one was a Volvo that I went to in Dalkeith. And when I got to the car, I sat down and it felt very wet. And then I had a careful look and there was actually a tide mark on the inside of the seats. You tried to go through the Mount Lawley subway, didn't you? And it's been towed here, hasn't it? You went, yeah. And everything was sodden underneath, up to the bottom of the dash.
You're good, but not that good.
I'm good, but
Miracle
not that good.
Worker.
Yep.
Yeah, had a VE Commodore that did that last big storm we had in Albany, and they basically, the fireys, they went straight into the water in front of the fire station, so the fireys dragged them out. They kind of dried it out, drove it home. Then the next day I got the phone call to go out there. My car won't start, and it had basically all the fuse panel inside the car was still soaked with water, carpets, floor. It would have come in like halfway up the seat. Same thing, seat was wet. I'm like, there's not much I can really do here apart from disconnect the battery because the dash is going just crazy. It's backfeeding power from everything, and I think you need to contact your insurance company.
Right, let's open another box. Sure.
Thank you very much.
What's this one say? Stories from the road.
What's the most unusual place you've attended a breakdown in Western Australia? Probably at local beach in town. Notorious fishing area, but quite dangerous. Got a call out to kind of unlock a vehicle and arrived and saw sort of SES, police, fireys, ambos, and rocked up, and there was a guy standing by the vehicle. I thought, this is a bit full on here, like sort of bit of action going on. Like, I'll unlock your car, and it's like, where's your keys? Where are the keys? Are they in the back, or they're in the compartment? Are they between the door? Where are they? And he goes, no, they're in the water. And it was turns out it was a family member had gone in off the rocks, and it was a bit of a sort of a foot in mouth moment for me. I was just having a casual conversation, but then it dawned on me like straight away, like, oh, much respect. I'll unlock it and basically I'll arrange a tow truck and I'll kind of sort it out. You don't have to worry about it. You just go back with your family. And called through the call centre, called through the towies to let them know the situation. And it's probably the most unusual breakdown, and the place itself is like, what are people doing out there? Obviously fishing, but yeah, it's probably the one for me that stands out. Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. Something a bit lighter is, what's the funniest call out I've ever had? Most people don't expect to get a female come when they break down. So when you knock on the door and it's a bloke that his car won't start and you've caught him in the shower, he doesn't necessarily remember his towel. I don't want to say it was funniest, but that was a good one. Especially when he had to come out afterwards, like, oh, sorry about that. And it's like, that's fine, no problem.
So it's completely...
Yes.
And you knew this because...
Sorry, mate, I've just got out of the shower. Oh, won't be a moment. No worries, mate. It does pay sometimes to surprise people.
What's a call out that you'll never forget and why? Tell you what, look, a long time ago, there was... so it was a funeral car. And the person was in the funeral car. It was Grandad written down. But what it was, they ordered us. This was the AA. It was such a nice story. But it was the AA, and what they did, they called us with it, thinking we'll be later, and another car was on its way to pick up the coffin and carry on. And so I got there really quickly. So I'm there, and the family's there, and the Grandad written on the side. But they're all quite, and I'm looking at this funeral car. It was the alternator. So I said, well, if you want, I said, I'll put the jump pack on it. But it ain't far to the church, and then you could just drive it. And everyone was sort of laughing and pointing at me at this funeral. I mean, I thought they'd be. You think they're sad? Oh, it's Grandad. They're celebrating something. But it's only because one of them come over, and I went. So he said, I know we're laughing. He said. He said he's got a Morris Minor. He always used to call you lot. He went. He said you've even got.
So even in death,
that was yes.
And he probabably would have loved that, because that would have been,
yes.
You would have
on
had
his
to
last
follow
journey. We
You're
were still
following
helping
him
getting
to
there.
Oh.
But I'll do another one. Look, I'll tell you what, because it was for WA one in Australia. They called me out to a job in Guildford. It was late at night, nice and dark. Car was sort of buried in the bush, and I didn't think. This bloke come out, and he was absolutely suspicious. He kept cupping his face, covering all like that, and I thought, I don't like this. This is not really. It's not a great situation. I thought, I'm just going to jumpstart this bloke, and I'm going to get out of here. And we did it, and he kept away from me, and he kept. So I done it, and he shot off. Fair enough. I said, go on, then, mate, off you go, and then they rang me up afterwards. The dispatch went, hey, you okay? Was there anything suspicious about that job? I went, what a dodgy job. I said the bloke was covering his face and everything. She went, yeah, it's stolen. It's a rental car. He stole it. I said, and they said, well, we really go above and beyond, don't we? Even if you steal a car, we'll give you a jump start. It's absolutely amazing. But I'm sorry, I won't go on. I could be all night with this.
Okay, lucky last out of this box. Have you ever turned up to a job expecting one thing and found something completely different? Yes. I have.
Funny that.
Thank you for asking. So I went to a job where the car was bogged, and so I went there and got to the address, and car's not at the front, so I knocked at the door, and they came out and said, oh yeah, the car's around the back, down the laneway. So backed my van down there, expecting to do the right thing and get the car out of the bog, and it was in the swimming pool. That was a bit tricky.
They flooded in.
Well, not only did we have to send a tow truck, we had to try and get the tow truck company to organise a crane.
What was the expectation? Yeah. What did they think you were going to do? What were you there for?
A miracle.
For a bog job?
A miracle. Yeah, but it came as a bog job. Yeah.
Oh, do you think it's bogged?
Yeah, just a bit.
All flooded. Which one? Yeah, we've got a code for that. Yeah, might as well use it.
I mean, it's a bit similar to the one when you got a car, when they go out and say, oh, the radiator's leaking a bit, and you get there and it's embedded in a tree. Same thing, you know. There's not a lot you can do, is there?
I had one that was, the car was bogged. I just dropped a wheel off a wall, and the wall was probably, I'd say 1.5 metres high, and the car was balancing. It was a Holden Commodore, that Statesman, reversed off and it just slid slowly down, rested on its bumper. So it had basically 3 wheels off the ground, but miraculously, because it did it so slow, it just scraped the chassis rail underneath, and where it landed, it had no damage to the bumper, no damage to the front, and that was can you just get a tow truck? So if you dragged it backwards, it would have torn the whole front of the car off. So that was a crane job as well. So
seen something similar like that in West Perth as well, in one of those little office car parks where they're driven half over the wall and the wheels have cleared the little wall,
like that.
and it's just sitting on the subframe at the back with the back wheels hanging over the edge. Not a lot you can do there either.
had a bad gearbox job. The guy reckoned that he just put in drive, and it just, his gearbox it was all jammed up, put it in drive, and it'd go to move and it wouldn't move. And I arrived at the job, swung into the car park, and previously this car park had big pine trees which had been lopped off, and the guy must have been talking on his phone, swung into the entrance, drove over the curb and onto the stump. So that
grounded.
I pulled up, he was sitting in the car, tapped on the window, he wound the window down. I was like, you want me to organise a tow? He's like, can you have a look at the gearbox? I said, I don't think it's a gearbox issue. He's like, what's that? And I said, look at your front tyre, and put my foot on it and kicked the tyre, and it was free spin because the 2 front tyres were off the ground. And he hadn't even bothered to get out of the car to have a look.
It was a loud noise from my transmission. It's the tree stump hitting it.
And he sat in it, and that was it. Didn't get out. So.
Or the car with the loose gear stick, and you get there and the gearbox has actually been stolen in the middle of the night, and so of course the gear stick was a bit wobbly. It's not actually attached to anything under it. Oh no, that's a Cortina when you do that. Yeah. Remember the old nylon?
Yeah, nylon, yeah.
But yeah, gearbox have been nicked in the middle of the night. Yep. Yeah, as you do.
Yeah. Should we go on with another
Any more?
No, that's it for that one.
That was that one.
That was the first one.
The first one, yeah.
Oh.
So.
Well, that's the box there.
Thank you.
All right.
Do electric vehicles break down differently from petrol cars?
They don't run out of petrol.
That is definitely one thing. I'd say the only difference that I've come across is age. Electric vehicles that have few miles on them where their battery packs have failed. But people are absolutely astounded that the vehicle still has a 12-volt battery. So you show up and go, you just got a flat battery. I'll get a jump back. You can't jump start that. I've got an electric vehicle. Yeah, okay. Well, all cars have got 12-volt batteries. That's probably the one for me, yeah. That's very common, very common.
You can damage your car by jump starting it incorrectly. I think so, yes. Obviously, because if we connect the leads the wrong way, sometimes the leads start to smoke and melt. Or had one the other day in Navara. The guy actually tried to do it from a battery box, and inside the fuse wasn't wired properly. Caught his car on fire. So yes, you can definitely damage your car if you incorrectly jump start it.
No, you're choosing your question.
No, there was one handwritten, that was all, but... Is it actually bad to turn the aircon if you're... You missed out the on. The aircon if your car is overheating. Is it bad to run... Sorry, my fault. Bad to run your aircon if the car is overheating. Yeah, you're probably right. There it goes, yes. Is it bad to run the aircon if your car is overheating?
I think the more important part, why is the car overheating?
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think you need to concentrate on the car cooling down rather than yourself. There's been cases where that extra fan running has been helpful, but then it's got to be diagnosed first. So it's your car's overheating. You need to stop and have a look at it. That's what I'll start with.
And also, if it's overheating and your aircon possibly not working either.
That's right. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But built on the old myth of the your
second radiator.
If you turn your heater core on and you blast cold air, like you blow a fan for your face so your cabin gets hot, wind all your windows down. It would only work if you had a blocked radiator at the front, but then you a big liquid Band-Aid.
But definitely don't let your car overheat. That's the best way to go with that one.
Thank you very much. What have we got?
Don't worry about the handwritten one, it's a doozy.
Is it okay to keep driving just a little bit further when something feels wrong? No.
It depends.
It depends.
If you're in a not a safe location, your car is not as important as you are.
This is true.
That engine warning light, I always said about that. If it's still running okay and that engine warning light and you want to get somewhere safely, go and get somewhere safely. Yeah.
When you start to see sparks coming out,
That's the...
because you've got a flat tyre. I've had that before, halfway to Northern. It started in Bayswater.
Or the box of marbles under the bonnet where the engine's rattling its head off.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, overheating.
Yeah.
It's starting to die. It's just before it seizes.
Rattle.
Mm-hmm.
Death rattle.
Yes.
You get that. I had a little puddle of green coolant when I left the town 50 kilometres away, and then the car finally arrived on the outskirts and seized because they had no water in it. And it's always before it broke, if you saw green coolant, should have called up then. We could have come out, sorted you out, showed you what's wrong with it, arranged a tow truck, whatnot. But we're just going to try. And then it's
it's nice that people are always optimistic when it comes to their car.
and until they say what's the second-hand engine for the vehicle worth, and you can't 12 to 14.
But it's funny, a lot of people, or not a lot, but some people are pessimistic about stuff, but they're always optimistic about their car. Oh, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it won't be that.
The
maybe
problem's not going to be as bad. And you're there going, you're driving down the road, and all of a sudden your car ground to a halt. Now you have a flat battery. I think it's seized. And you kind of test your battery.
No, it's my starter motor. It's not turning over.
It'll come good.
Clunk.
Yeah.
It was always the saddest thing as a patrol for me when you got there and you lift off the oil cap and it looked like chopped milk underneath, and you think, okay, let's just give it a crank over, and the water in the radiator's jumping up and down, and you go, oh no,
Yeah,
I'm about to tell you you need a new engine.
It's worse on Christmas Day doing that to someone.
Yes.
I've had to do that. I don't like working Christmas Day now because it can ruin people's day.
You say, I'm not here to sugarcoat it. Ace is an ace and a spade's a spade.
There's a couple in here. We could just answer them together, I think. Putting your remote control against your head increases its range. I'm sure I've seen that on TV. It does something, but yeah, you just use it as
someone
an
used
aerial.
to say our reflective strips on our shirts. Sometimes I don't know. That's beyond me.
It's a bit mythical, but yeah, I think there is some sort of aerial improvement, maybe.
I would 100% guarantee that works with the MK Triton. I've proven it. Albany Speedway Club. I was probably 200 metres away from the vehicle. Lock, unlock, look, hold it against your forehead.
There you go. Well, you've heard it
Use
here
the
first.
body, and you could see the car down the bottom of the pits.
I was going to
Flashlights on off.
say that's a lot like that one I said initially about you get the car unlocked first, and then you do something really outlandish, and they just think, oh, wow, you did it like that. That sounds like that.
100%. It was my own vehicle, and I tried it out, and I could just see the car down the bottom. It was like a tiny speck, and it would work.
I do remember a bloke at one of the patrols used to be a bit of a joker, and he had a rubber brick. It was rubber. He had a rubber chicken as well in his car, in his little van, but had this rubber brick, and he's telling me what he used to do is you go, when they've locked their key, and they go, well, pick the dirty window, I'll go and get a brick. And he comes back with this rubber brick and throws it as it bounces off. But he said, I did it a while back. He said, and I'll pick a dirty window. I'm going to go and get a brick. And as he walked away, he heard this, and the bloke went, "Sod you, I've done it myself." He went, "Oh," he went, "Oh God." Right, using high octane fuel is better. Yeah, bang for buck. Less throttle.
Not sure.
Not sure. I do. I think it's better. You get more bang for that buck and less touching the throttle. It should, especially not 91.
I do. I race motorsport, so bad fuel hurts engines definitely. So low grade fuel, high grade. What you can afford, obviously, but anything new turbocharged, you'll get pinging codes, cat converter codes, oxygen sensor codes. But I'd highest grade 98 and everything, except diesels.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Let's grab another box. Thank you.
You're welcome. 100-year moment. Then versus now.
Oh, my specialty subject.
Down here. Thank you. What kind of breakdowns barely exist anymore?
I reckon.
I'd say anything to do with the carburetor. It's very used to.
I'd agree with that, because when I first started, one of the compulsory pieces of equipment that you had to have in your toolbox was a Stromberg jet tool, which was the thing that you needed to retighten the power valve when it came loose in the bottom of the carburetor.
Yeah. So I probably would get, with my age, it was kind of carburetors were phased out basically when I started my apprenticeship. But luckily where I worked on from 1925 Rolls Royce with all brass carbies with the actual stages of the carbies separate, all the way through to brand new vehicle servicing, BMW's being like an agent down there. You kind of would get people that would have an older car and they'd pull apart the carburetor and not know how to put it back together. So it'd be a phone call, "Oh, the car won't start. I've got fueling issues." And you get there, here's a box of random parts. "Can you just put this back together?" And you're like,
We used to call them fiddlers, and we weren't allowed to touch the car.
Exactly, yeah.
If you fiddled with the car, we don't touch it.
With dirty handprints on the bonnet, and you go, "You've been under the bonnet?" No, we'll do that. And the missus is behind going, "He touched it."
I think the hardest carburetor to work on that I ever did was had a thermoquad with a crushed float. And so I managed, and it was a long weekend, nothing open, no spare parts. So managed to get the float out, and it compacted a bit, and it was letting it flood. So I managed to inflate it using the CO2 bottle that we used to carry in the vans. Before compressors, we used to carry liquid CO2. And so you actually had a fair bit of pressure there.
Yeah.
So I managed to re-inflate
Gently,
the float
without popping it,
and then put it back in. But thermoquads are horrible things to work on.
All right, I've got one which is an everyone answer. RAC Roadside Assistance is about, I'd say, the members.
Yeah, members, yep.
What do you reckon, Richie? Anything else?
You
can see him.
Yeah, caring. We're there.
I'm not going to argue with the members, because for me it's always been about the members. That's what we do.
100%, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we only needed one person really to answer then, didn't we?
Let's have a look what we got in here. Now have cars, roads and WA changed? Sorry.
How?
Yeah, maybe I should go. Yeah, get some glasses.
They're just new.
How have cars, roads and WA changed over the years working in roadside, e.g. pre-mobile phones, new tech, EVs? Look, the car. I'd say the cars have changed dramatically. I mean, I always remember sort of 90s. Well, I was working on cars in the 80s, so there was carburetors, but when you start to see injection come in and ignition systems and even flash codes on ECMs, we used to get, there was ECUs at the time. I thought that was moving fast, but now it's just unbelievable. It's just the software, and our job has become more it's not complicated as in there's still petrol and a
the nuts and bolts haven't changed,
but it's actually the software, what
yeah.
it does, how it locks, keyless entries. I mean, they say they press a button, it don't work, but you don't know what the car was, what condition it was, and it makes it awkward. What does it do when you don't do this? Cars and it's people knowledge of cars. They're not too. I find. My own personal experience, they're not too interested in cars anymore. They're not. We used to love cars, but now they're quite samey. It's about cup holders, Bluetooths. Has it got an app to open the doors? This seems to be more important. Screens.
It's a smartphone on wheels, basically.
Smartphone on wheels. So the cars and the knowledge. I mean, we go around the schools and we do it telling the kids how to check their oil and water. It's the basics. It's just that simple. Check your tyres, oil and water. You still need to do this stuff, but the cars. They're just getting crazy now, and I hear a lot of small garages now closing up. That's quite sad, and when you talk to they just can't keep up with this stuff. It's expensive to keep up with the new cars now. As for EVs, they're fine. I think a lot of people probably would be better off on an EV. Just going backwards and forwards to work, they're absolutely fine. They'd be okay. But it's another evolution that we have to learn to get around and how to find our little tricks. But at the moment, people still run out of petrol, still need us.
Humans are still human,
Yes.
I think it's about reliability, isn't it? Because they're a lot more reliable now. So for those people who don't know, we use codes to satisfy what's wrong with the cars after we finish working on them. When was the last time you used the code for wet ignition?
Wet ignition?
Yeah, so basically,
I think the code is.
So back in the old days with pre-electronic ignitions and everything, ignition systems were very susceptible to wet weather breakdowns. Just doesn't happen anymore, does it?
No.
They turn the key, they start. Back then, big cans of dewatering fluid to spray all over the car, taking distributor caps off, spraying on the inside. Taking spark plugs out to close the gaps because they wouldn't start because everything was struggling in the wet weather, cold, wet. Just doesn't happen. They just start.
It's amazing how many cars still cold start flood, electronic cars.
Starting and then stopping again?
Yeah, you rock up and then the typical example is the engine just turns over free as a bird.
Yeah.
And you're straight away like, did you start this up and reverse it back and wash your car by any chance and put it back inside? Oh, yeah. Or if you got single driveway with 4 cars in a row, the first one's got to pull them all out to shuffle them around.
Winter only though, hey?
That first cold morning,
Yep.
Sounds a bit like the old days with the Ford overhead cam engine. I think I towed 7 in one day once with the broken belt. Used to be very, very common. The 2 litre engine. So forgot my toolbox that day, Yeah, I used to do them in England.
Used to do it side of Cavaliers. They used to do it. Oh, cam belts. It was,
but that was a very common breakdown back in the day. Luckily, they were free-running engines. Didn't bend the valves, not like the Fiats and things.
Yeah.
Good old
get more complicated.
Hey, Malcolm, there's a couple in there.
One more. Oh, 2. Got one hiding here. So, what do you think roadside assistance will look like in the future with driverless cars?
Ooh.
Will the driverless car lock its own keys in?
And will it change its own tyre? You probably won't have a spare tyre.
Won't leave it in drive.
No. I don't know.
Driverless cars. I mean, yeah, out in the country, probably never going to happen on a gravel road. But it's going to be. It's certainly going to be interesting, I reckon. My mate went to America and he jumped in I think it was a Jaguar. It was a Jaguar taxi. So you called him up like an Uber. Yeah. It showed up, reversed back, unlocked it, jumped in it, indicator on, wheel turn, drove up. Went in San Francisco, drove up the top of a hill at a stop sign, and he was in. I don't know how this feels. He was sitting in the car, hanging back in the indicator, waited for the cars to go past, pulled out, took him where he had to go, pulled up, reverse parked, let him out. He races motorsport, but he was sort of half freaked out the whole time, sitting there like, should I grab hold of the steering wheel at any point in time? But they seem to work over there. But In the city, maybe okay, but
Well, I reckon those driverless cars will probably tell their base operating system that they need help and someone else will come and help them. I think the people that run the cars, probably.
time will tell.
Yeah. There was one question left in the box, and it predates me. What do you think an RAC patrol from 1926 would be shocked by today?
Cost of petrol.
Lack of horses on the road?
I would say technology,
Yes.
100%. Yeah, just the way things have evolved. AI, a smartphone, a mobile phone, anything. Just being able to communicate. Yeah, but I reckon that they'll be spun out.
Communication's got to be part of it. Yeah. I mean, consider how many jobs we do now, because we've had this where they know where we are, where we got to go, communication, we can speak to members. Yeah, he had none of that. It was a radio, then go out and do something. Or
I'd say they'd be shocked and baffled at the same time, because, I mean, we've got a smart device in our hands, in our pockets, where you can just Google anything, but you see a lot of common sense things that people just go out there, and you go out to a job and they've got the information in their hand, but they just don't think to even check things. Like, they can't ask you a basic question. It's the same thing like, have you looked at the owner's manual? Have you researched this? And people just go and buy a new car. They don't ask questions anymore. They just, that car there, I want that. They'll take it home. Then I've had it multiple times where the car's making a funny noise, like the engine's revving high on a new electric vehicle. And I've gone out to it and actually sat down and gone for a drive with them in the car, worked out what the noise was, and that's the conditions that the car actually does. And they weren't told by a salesman, or they haven't done their own research, and they think the car has a fault, but it's a factory feature, like a BYD Shark Ute. The engine revs coming up that works like a petrol generator to charge the batteries. But he's like, oh, okay. But he was straight away onto I need to get this car back to the dealer that sold me a lemon. The technology was in his hands. So I think that's the sort of those old school contractors and patrolmen. What are we going to think in the future when we'll be sitting back here having a laugh because AI is around and sort of cars are electric, and what's in the future for us? We're going to be spun out.
A little joke with a lady 2 days ago. She was had a hire car, and she's taken one back and got another hire car, and they haven't gone through anything with her. She said, my car's not running. So I explained to her that when she sees the little green ready light on the dash, even though you can't hear it, you're ready to drive. And her biggest thing is, well, they didn't tell me this. I thought the engine wasn't running. It's not, it's electric. It's okay.
Yeah.
Bless her.
And they'll get out and or people were used to the old generators and the early alternators, and you jump start the car and they're in there just revving it. Whoa, you don't have to. The engine's cold, just let it slightly warm up. The voltmeter's showing it's charging. You don't need to. They'll get in there and hold the revs about 3,000 revs, and bit of education there, trying to tell people that, but yeah.
No cars running around with a sign hanging off the boot with the words "running in" written on the back.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because when you first had a brand new engine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of, the era, and probably up into the 50s or something. You had to drive the car really slowly for the first few hundred miles, then to bed everything in, and not rev the hell out of it, because it made it premature to failure if you revved it too hard, too long, too early. That's all the questions done. I don't think there's anything left in the boxes.
Done all the boxes, and
probably time for some cake then, isn't it?
There's definitely a nice cake sitting there.
Before you do that, I have been asked to read something from Group CEO Rob Slocum. So just let me see what he's written. So Rob says, to all our roadside assistance patrols, past, present, including Richard, April, Malcolm and Sean, who have been with us for many years. Thank you to all your dedication to our members over 100 years. Roadside Assistance was RAC's first member service. Back in 1926, just over 20 years after founding what was the Automobile Club of Western Australia, we recognised our members needed to feel confident they could get home safely when venturing out. It's our people who have made RAC Roadside Assistance what it is today. Your devotion to members and your commitment to solving problems has led to one of Western Australia's most enduring and most cherished legacies. Not many services have the privilege of lasting 100 years, and it is our absolute honour to have you all as part of RAC. So thank you. I look forward to what the next 100 year brings us. Now please enjoy the cake.
Hey, thanks, Rob.
you, Rob.
Yep.
Thanks, Rob.
Cheers.
Phil.
Thank you very much.
And we
A
will
few
enjoy
more-
the cake.
A few more calories, just what we need. Awesome. Are we ready? We're going to light her up.
Let's do it. Sit.
Happy
Birthday to us. Are we saying
That's
this?
really not going to work.
No.
is it?
No.
Happy 100 to RAC.
See.
Happy 100 to road service.
Roadside.
No, road.
Happy 100 to the members and the contractors and all the roadside crew, I reckon. Yeah.
That sounds
And
good.
dispatch, don't forget dispatch as well. They were there for all that time.
That's true. Happy 100 RAC Roadside Service Assistance.
Happy.
Right, let's cut this cake.
Yep. And
100
pause.
years.
Stop.
Make a wish.
Another 100 years.
Awesome.
There you go.
Perfect.
Lovely. Let's eat.
Cake.
Thank you for tuning in. If you liked this episode, let us know and share it with a friend. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next episode of RAC's Horizons podcast.